Welcome to a guide to a new mod on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. So it is here. This video should have been entitled the SYN TRAC mishap. Interestingly, mods got released yesterday, Friday, and I always check the Giants website for mods released, and then when I see they've been released, I go into the Modhub and then do the mod review. This didn't come up on the Giants website yesterday as being released on console, which is peculiar. So you may not even be aware it has been released on console. Now this is... I said on my review, the last review I did, that the Pons Buffalo Duel was a multi-tool. This... I'm going to say it again. This is a game changer. This is a multi-tool. This thing is just incredible what it can do. This is made by ImpTS. It's really, really cool. I absolutely love it. We have a 4-wheel or 6-wheel version. There are attachments galore that go with this. What we'll do first is have a look at Install. So this is under Miscellaneous for the vehicle itself. I scroll across, there it is, the SYN TRAC pre-production. So this is this is cool. This is latest technology stuff. 320,000 to buy, 420 horsepower. That puts it up there on horsepower with some of the big machines, which means you're not going to have too much trouble with this. Options available, and there are a few. It looks amazing. It's such an odd looking thing, but such a clever design. We can change the rim colour. For example, if we want to do MrSealyp green, we can change the main colour. Oh, that actually, the orange, and that's not too bad. And then design colour is the other bits in between. But for some reason, there we go, design colour. If I'm going to go for orange on that, so I'll go with the orange and green. That's not a bad combination. But then we've got, let's go. For some reason, the console menu is so fiddly sometimes. So under configuration, we've got the default configuration. 4 wheels as an option. We can then go to configuration A, which puts this whole rear section on with a 3-point link on the back, which looks very, very cool. I think that's for an extra... Is it the transmission? Does it put another engine? Oh, I'm trying to think now. There's so much information on this. Then we can have standard adapter B, which puts those lighting blocks on the back as well. Just there. And then we can have standard adapter C, which then puts mudguards on the back, fenders, whatever, however you want to refer to them. But there are no wheels in there at the moment because we've got to change that as well. So we can have 2-wheel or a 6-wheel. Wheel brands, we've got the option of knock-ins, Michelin's. But then when we actually go to the options on those, we've got with the knock-ins, communal 2x2, and then we can go snow chains 2x2, which looks brilliant, and then 2x3. So we can have the 6-wheel option, and then we can have snow chains on the 2x3 as well. I mean, that automatically gives it a really, it's just a fantastic look to it. If we go back up and do Michelin's, we've got narrows, like that, 2x2, broads 2x2, and then narrow 2x3, broads 2x3, which again gives it a very aggressive stance on the back of that. So those are your wheel and tyre options for all intents and purposes. Then we've got the engine setup. We've got 60 km/h or 80 km/h. That puts that at what, 50 miles an hour? So it's no slouch with speed either. So looking at that kind of puts you in the kind of lorry truck speeds with 420 horsepower, and the ability to do all sorts of really, really cool stuff. Now, what I would suggest when you're looking for the equipment that goes this, and I've done this before and I may miss something, I hope not, looking at the actual website, I've gone onto the PC mods to find it. If we scroll across until we get to SYN TRAC, and click on that, that shows you everything available. So we've got the actual SYN TRAC itself. That uses 24 slots for the first one, which isn't too bad at all. Then we've got a standard adapter, which puts a 3-point link. So if you go with the 2-wheel option, obviously I showed you the 3-wheel option, and if you put that whole rear section on the 3-wheel option, you get a 3-point link anyway. But if you go with the 2-wheel option, sorry, 4-wheel, 2-axle, you can have a 3-point link standard adapter on the back. The standard adapter, I think, was 12 slots. We've then got a support adapter, which I'll show you that in a second. And then we've got a multi-weight. We've also got the elephant loader, and we've got a fertilizer S. So there's a fertilizer attachment that goes on the back. These things are incredible. We'll start with, I think, the standard adapter. We can change the design colour, and then design we can have none, or with the panel with a lighting rig on the back. So if you want to have that front or rear as an extra set of lights, you can have that on there, which makes this thing, you can put one of these front and rear, and you've got 3-point link front rear, like most tractors do have. You can have it just on the back, just on the front, however you want to do it, which is incredible. Panel and fenders, or back to nothing, so it depends how you want to do it. We've then got the support adapter. Now the support adapter is a clever bit of kit, and that allows you to take support equipment with you but not actually attached to the 3-point link or anything. You can attach it onto this, raise this up out of the way, and then still have access to your 3-point link on the back or the front, and that, which I think is brilliant. So we can change the main colour on this to any of those three, so if I want to go for that, and then design colour, so you can, what did that change the design colour? Just the top bit there, wasn't it? Yeah, so it matches up with whatever your vehicle is. Then design, we've got none, panel and fender, and then attachers, standard or wheel teleloader attachment. So that puts that bit down the bottom there. Actually, we'll go back up to the main colour, so we can see that a bit better. There we go, so that stands out a little bit. So wheel and teleloader attacher or standard. If we go with that, that means you can take teleloader attachments, wheel loader attachments, not actually attached to whatever you're using, but on the vehicle, which I think, again, very, very clever idea. We've then got the multi-weight. This is cool. The detail on this, again, we can change the design colour, we can change the main colour. I think the design colour is the weights themselves. So what we'll do is change that to something glaringly obvious that stands out. So we can have 800 kilogram front weight, which is actually the whole structure itself. We can then go with 1100 kilogram front weight. Yeah, so the design colour changes the actual weight. Then we can go with 1400. So it adds them all up. 2000, 2600, or 3000. I mean, that's a lot of weight on there, but it looks brilliant. Very, very cleverly done. And then back to normal. Then we've got the elephant loader. Again, we can change the design and the main colour. Design, we can have it with the cover. You don't have to have the cover, you can have it so it's all open, you can see what's going on, or with a cover. And then we've got the wheel loader attacher at the bottom, or we can have the teleloader, telehandler attacher, whichever one you want to go for. Now, obviously, if you're using the CSZ pack, the CSZ pack gives you loads of front loader attachments and various different wheel loader and telehandler, but it gives you adapters as well. So the thing about that is, with this now and the CSZ pack, you could use the teleloader attacher or the wheel loader attacher. With a CSZ adapter, it gives you a multitude of bits of equipment you can put on this now. And then over across one more, we've got the fertilizer S, which does lime and fertilizer, 3,600 litre tank, 24 metre spread width on it. Again, we can change the main colour, and the design colour is the cover. So if you want to go, wow, that's interesting. In the actual design, it shows blue, but that looks almost purple, like a lilac-y purple. Don't know if it looks like that out in the real world. And then options, we've got none, or we've got prototype. So it shows the prototype logo on the side, so you can see that it is actually a prototype with SYN TRAC there, laser cut out of the metalwork. Fantastic. So we've got a lot of options. So let's actually have a look at this thing, shall we? Wow, 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 wow. Now this, that's not just, they haven't adjusted the camber on that so you can go racing. That's not, you know, for cornering and that kind of thing. This is for hooking up. I'm just blown away. Right, so let's jump in it, turn it on. So we've got quite a few things to look at on this. So let's start off with lights. Lights front, lights rear, all lights, fantastic. We've got a steering option at the moment. We've got it on all-wheel steer, but you can put it on. Actually, let's open the menu. Make life a little bit easier. So we can have it all-wheel steer. We can have it on front-wheel steer only. We can have it on crab steer. That way. Crab steer. That way. And then back to standard. Or all-wheel steer, whichever you consider to be standard. Which again, absolutely amazing. Now this does say unfold tractor, and I haven't managed to work out what that actually does when it says unfold tractor. But anyway, there's open cover, and when we open cover, this is the point where you're getting it ready to load up to things. So if you've gone with, this one is obviously the 4-wheel 2-axle. If I open cover, it opens the covers and then it drops the whole thing down. Look at that. And that's how you hook up to implements. So if you're struggling to hook up to implements and you're just driving up and you can't figure out, you need to open cover. It drops that right down, then you kind of drive in towards the implement and it will allow you to hook up to them. When you're done, you then close cover, it lifts it back up and then puts the covers back onto the implements or to whatever you've got. Now, as far as driving goes as well, because I think, I can't remember which one I went for now, the 60 or the 80 km/h one. That one says 47, but even 47, that's 47 miles an hour. That's fast, no, for a 420 horsepower vehicle. But what it has also got is a self-leveling. It's got everything. It's just incredible. This is one of those kind of things you think, okay, why are you going to buy anything else anymore? Trying to find a bit that's got a bit of a lean to it, maybe a little bit further up that slope. Ah, that's what it is. Right. So, like that stays as normal when you're on a slope. Unfold tractor, if I press L1 and X, that puts on the self-leveling system. So when you're going then up and down slopes, it will automatically level the cab. If I turn that off, it puts it back as it would do normally. Let's have a look at that in-cab. Oh, that's cool. It does have cab suspension, and looking at it from inside, actually, while we're doing that, look at that. Digital. Oh. Lights on. Actually, it's just got a beacon. Oh, look at that. This is my new favourite thing. This is just... It's so futuristic. I love that. Is there a symbol on here that shows the beacons are on? Nothing I can see. Although, that's interesting. No display working there. I love those. Anyway, right. Let's get on to actual attachments because there's loads. Those beacons are blowing me away. I love that. Right then, what do we start with? We've got a whole load here. Let's go round and have a quick look at the 6-wheel. Well, I went with the 6-wheel option with rear fenders. I mean, I've got a few here. I just kind of laid a whole load of stuff out just to give you some idea of all the different attachments and things that you can fiddle around with. But this is, again, the detail on here is incredible. Now, the 6-wheel option, I thought initially maybe there were attachments that were longer or bigger that required the longer extension on here. There aren't. There's all the same ones, and they will fit on the 4-wheel option as opposed to 6-wheel option. But that does look seriously cool. Self-leveling, everything else is exactly the same as on the 4-wheel option. So let's have a quick look then. Let's jump in here. So, in front of me, we've got one of the elephant loaders. So what I need to do is open covers. That will then lower it down, and I can drive forward. When the symbol comes up, like now, you do that and then wait, and it will hook it all together, all the various different things. If I disconnect now, look, there's all sorts of stuff that happens under there, and that bottom plate is quite hard to see. If you put the lights on, doesn't make a lot of difference. The bottom plate that's just under there needs to raise it up off the floor to disconnect properly. So if I attach it, it hooks it up, plate moves, and it's hooked up. We're good to go. This then, let's close cover, raise it back on the suspension, and it looks like an elephant's trunk. That's why it's called an elephant loader. But the reach on this thing is amazing. Very, very cool. And also it doesn't take up a huge amount of space because it folds up on itself. So if you're in tight spaces, now I've got a front loader, telehandler bucket. So obviously, now I'll go back to my vehicle. There we go. So as far as options go for what you want to be using on it, you know, anything. And if you use a CSZ pack adapter, you can put a multitude of various different bits of equipment on the front of it. Let's disconnect that. I'll show you what I mean if you can see it a little bit better in the light. So when it comes to disconnecting, if I disconnect and then try and pull away straight away, I need to lower it first, open cover, lower it down. And this is where if you're missing out these steps, if you're not lowering it down, you're trying to disconnect, the vehicle won't pull away from it properly, it won't disconnect properly. So do that first, drop it down, then disconnect and wait for that bottom plate to slightly lift it, like that, and then you can back out. And there's no problem at all then. If you try and disconnect before that bottom plate's gone down, so I'll show you again, if I try and pull away now, it's still kind of attached, you just have to wait for it to lift and then you'll be absolutely fine. So that's the elephant loader, or one of them anyway. What we're going to do is go backwards, because behind me we've got the fertiliser S attachment, the 3,600 litre tank. Same thing, I'm lowered, got into position, press X, hook it up, wait for it to do everything it needs to do to get it off the deck, then close cover. Actually I'm on the wrong vehicle. Close cover, raise the whole thing up. On the back of this then we've got that, and it fits really, really well. The animation's fantastic. Just go to that again, close cover. There's so much to look at and I want to make sure I do it justice. So let's say, now the one thing with this, because you're going to have a multitude of bits of equipment attached onto various different bits of this, you're going to be swapping tools quite a lot. So if I press triangle, you need to bounce between your vehicle, your implements, your attachments, so you need to constantly be watching that top left hand corner to make sure you're on the right one. Because if I press that one now and I'm on the actual fertiliser spreader, if I do open cover, it opens the cover on that. What I want to do is drop it down, so I've got to go back to the vehicle, then open cover, which then drops it down, like so. So then go back to that to detach it, wait for it to lift everything up. Once it's lifted everything up out the way, then I can move forward. If you try and do it before, it'll catch. So, hook that up. Raise it up back on the suspension. We are good to go. Very, very cool bit of kit. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Such a clever, clever idea. So there you go. That's got a 24 metre spread on it. Brilliant bit of kit. Slot counts. The fertiliser S is 12 slots. The elephant loaders is 12, I think. So adding them all together, you could be at least, well, if you buy a whole load of it, sort of 60 odd slots in, I guess, depending on what you want to go with. But then there are some tractors that are knocking on 50, so it really just depends. So what I've got here then, we've got the standard attacher. The standard attacher is your 3-point link. So if you've gone like this with the 6-wheel version and you've already got a 3-point link on the back, you don't necessarily need one on the back, but you might want one for the front. If you go for the 4-wheel option, that comes really, they're blank front and back. So if you want a 3-point link, you want to go with the standard attacher. Front or rear or both, that really does become a personal choice. This one here is the multi-weight, and that's the full 3,000 kilograms on there on the multi-weight. Then on the back here I've got one of the support loaders, and I've also got it with a wheel loader attachment on it, wheel loader, telehandler. It will do both, but you don't have to have that, and I'm going to show you an option for that in a moment as well. So if we hook all of these bits together, we've got a 4-wheel option here. Start it up, open cover, drop it all down, swing forward onto my 3-point link attachment like so, and hook that up. Now if I want to go with the front weight on that, because I'm going to be putting heavy stuff on the back, I then just drive forward to my front weight, hook that up as well. Now I can raise and lower that. He says, there we go. So you can raise and lower that 3-point link as long as you're on the right one, if you're on the 3-point link. So you can get that weight up and out the way wherever you want it. But you can tell how heavy it is, because as soon as I put the weight on the floor, it kind of comes back on the suspension. But again, the animations on that 3-point link, the ability to be able to raise and lower that into whatever position you want is brilliant. Absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do, back up, hook up that support attachment like so, and I'm going to hook up my wheel loader attachment. Now the wheel loader attachment, for example, if I was going to go off and do a bit of forestry and I needed to get a wheel loader attachment out there and it wasn't attached onto whatever I need, and I need weights and I need all sorts of stuff, so what I do is back up and hook that on. What I'll do is just swing around a second so we can see this a little bit better, like so. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my main vehicle, and again it's bouncing around a lot, raise the whole thing back up like so, make sure I'm on the rear one, which is that one there, and now I can actually manipulate this whole assembly can be lifted up and out the way like so. Depends how far I want to go with it. Make sure I get the right one, fold that to there maybe. These controls, PlayStation controls, do my head in. Like so, for example. We can also move that, not that one, we can move that in and out, up and down, depending on what orientation you have it in. So that now, in essence, that support bracket has lifted that up out the way, and I can transport it like that on the back to wherever I'm going to. It might be you've got a phone call and they've said, can you bring another wheel loader attachment? But what it does mean is it opens up the rear trailer hitch, PTO and everything at the back to be used. So what I can then do is go to my trailer or whatever I'm taking with me, hook up to that as well, and I'm taking everything. I'm taking the weight, I'm taking the wheel loader attachment, I'm taking the trailer for forestry. Now if I don't want the front weight on that, I could put one of the elephant loaders on the front of that. I could, you know, the combinations and options available are almost limitless with what you can do with this. With a 3-point link on the back of this and on the 6-wheel option, you can do ploughing, you can do cultivating, you can do tedding, you can do mowing. You know, this then becomes a vehicle that you can do anything with. So that's that as an option. So I'll kind of show you what I mean again. So this one I've got the elephant loader, but that's got a wheel loader attachment on it, not the telehandler one this time. On the back it's got the standard 3-point link. So again, start it up, open the covers and drop it down. Let's put the elephant loader on the front, like so. Let's go and hook up to our wheel loader attachment in the front there. I'm going to back up as well. Let's take a weeder with us as well. Why not? We could do some weeding on the way. So that weeder on the back, we can, if I go to my vehicle, I can adjust the 3-point link on the back there to put that in whatever position I want to. When I get to where I'm going, I can just lower the weeder, like so, and off I go. Unfold it, and I can start doing my weeding if I want to do weeding, for example. On the front end, I've got my elephant loader. Actually, what we'll do, let's go back to normal raise the chassis back up off the floor, raise the suspension. So now with my elephant loader, again I can pick up logs, I can whatever I want on that front, a bucket. It's such a clever design. I still love the engineering involved in the fact that folds up so neatly into that package at the front. It's incredible. We can still open it up. We can still go side to side. It's very intuitive, I think is probably the other way of putting it. It's an incredible, incredible bit of kit. MTS has done such a good job on this. I mean, just incredible. Wow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, very, very quickly. Let's make sure I'm on the right vehicle. Let's lower that back down. Let's disconnect the weeder off the back. Let's disconnect that off the front again, let it do its thing so it lifts ever so slightly, then I can back out no problem at all. Now, I've got another one of those support loading sections, but this time without the wheel loader or telehandler bit. Sorry, I caught it. Detail on the turning of the axles on that is just wow, 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 wow. Loving this. So, we go and hook up to this. So let's hook up. And again, let's raise the suspension. Now I'm on that front piece, so I can adjust that up and down. If I go forward now, these do have straps too. So if I strap now, like so, and then raise that up, if I need to take some pallets out where I'm going, I can take some pallets. I did wonder whether it would work on the mower. If I was just transporting a mower out to somebody, if I just wanted this as a transport but that in itself is just if I want to, I can lift the whole thing up out the way. I mean, I know the pallets would tip up and it'd be a bit, you know, wouldn't be quite how it should be done. But let's drop that back down, take off that. I want to try this with that, see if I can get through this gap here. This machine is awesome. I wonder if it will pick up an actual piece of machinery. Will it put straps around that? No. Oh, it's a pity. So pallets and stuff then maybe. I thought maybe it'd be able to take some implements with me. So I'll do pallets, probably bales. I wonder if it'd do a bale. I mean, taking one bale would be a bit odd and you'd probably want to put pallet forks and stuff on there. But there you go. I mean, the cleverness of the design, the way it's been implemented by ImpTS, the options available, and like I say, if you're not sure about the CSZ pack, if I go across now to front loader tools, you probably saw it, you may have seen it a minute ago, or telehandlers, it doesn't really matter. If I scroll across now, I've got the CSZ pack installed, so I've got an adapter there, takes it from telehandler to front loader. That one takes it from telehandler to wheel loader. We've got CSZ attachments, so if I just use an adapter, I can use the elephant loader and then I can go from the elephant loader to a front loader tool. So then anything that's available under front loader tools, I've got the option to use. I'm pretty sure one of these is an adapter that will take me to skid steer. What that one does? Skid steer loader to front loader tool. Yeah, I mean, like I say, the CSZ pack is brilliant in combination with this bit of kit. Wow, I mean, the sky's the limit. Absolutely fantastic. Now I'm probably almost certain I've missed something. There's a lot in this. If I have, I do apologise. I'm sure someone will come and say you missed this, you missed that. I think I've covered everything, and there are so many combinations you can have. You know, have a play with it, fiddle around. You know, you're going to find a use for it you never knew you had a use for. There'll be something you want to transport or take, or, you know, to be able to lift bits of equipment up and out the way and still be able to attach PTOs, 3-point links. You know, this really does become an incredibly useful bit of kit with really high horsepower, high speed. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.